Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Good Talks. This is Gil.
This is Lou.
And I know that we...
You said this, not me.
All right, well, you secretly...
Let's clarify.
You secretly wanted to do this episode. All right, not really. But I felt like it was important for us because this is like a big story. It's one of those stories because it's one of those stories where you are, again, you're out there, you're on Instagram, you're on social media, Facebook, whatever, and you have so many places to turn to and get so much information from so many different people, whether it's factual stuff or not. You know, you're basically being influenced, right?
I think sometimes it's like subliminal. You know, like back in the days when they said that they used to put messages in things, so that way you'd buy something or you'd want that thing. So it's kind of like that to me. That's what it seems like. That's why they do like the stuff in movies, like you know how like it's an Audi car or it's they reach for a Pepsi to make you think of Pepsi, so that you're like, I'm thirsty, I want one.
Well, I don't know. I personally feel like I don't know if if I see something and I I like it, then I'm going to buy it or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think, again, I don't know this. Subconsciously I don't know this, but I don't really go on and buy rather look at things and go, "Oh, okay, I'm going to buy it because I don't know, LeBron James has it." You know what I mean?
I mean, you might not think that way, but there are people that do that. And this is why there's a market for it now.
Which is?
Social media marketing.
Really?
Yeah.
No. You saying
it's target? It's target marketing. It's target marketing.
You're saying there's,
and I don't want people to think Target like stores. No, target marketing meaning like it's almost like direct response, but it's really not direct because people are not cold calling you anymore. You know, like that was the true direct marketing. When you get those emails and that you delete every day from all the different places that you've subscribed to, that's direct marketing. So this is kind of a form of direct marketing. It's just the way it's done is just different. It's different than whatever used to be done before, like postcard. All that other stuff is passé. They don't do mail.
Passé. Yeah,
they don't do like you don't really get postcards in the mail like you used to. Right. Yes, people. Some places still do it periodically, but it's not like it used to. Or like I said, cold calls, where you get that call and you're like, besides that stupid thing that happens now with that your car's thing is about to expire, like you need a maintenance agreement type of thing, which is annoying. Like those robocalls, but people used to do those, and that's what was direct response. Yeah,
but all right. So my thing was,
this is apparently a whole business now.
I don't know. For some reason, it sounds so weird on my mic. But what I was saying earlier was, I don't find myself going online or looking at something on Instagram or whatever and seeing someone like LeBron James who has that, and I'm like, I want that because LeBron James has that.
You might not be the target for that particular ad, but do we need to go through your feed and see how many sneaker things you subscribe to?
Yeah, but I'm talking about like looking at Instagram. Like if I go
on Instagram, how many sneaker things do you subscribe to?
Well, I'm not referring to ads that are coming my way. I'm not referring to that.
Not ads. Accounts that you subscribe to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not gonna like if I'm following, like I said, LeBron James, he's the closest one. He's the only one that I'm thinking about. If I subscribe or rather follow LeBron James, and I see that he has, I don't know, some new whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna go out there and buy it just because he has it. And this is not a subscription. I'm not subscribing to his thing, and then I'm getting feeds, from that. No, it's like just the typical, I'm following someone, but I'm not going to go buy whatever it is because that person that I'm following.
Yeah, but it might not be as blatant as what you're saying. But like, for instance, if there's I don't know, with you it's clothing and sneakers. So let's say he's wearing a shirt and you're like, oh, that shirt look kind of cool. And then you go and I don't know, Google it, or you click on his image and it tells you the link to the name of that brand. That's what we're talking about. Some of them are very blatant with their with what they're trying to sell. Like they'll link you to something like a store. Other ones are just normally carrying on with their life and they're wearing certain things or they're doing certain things. And those are the things that people see, which is influencing their purchasing decisions.
Right. I mean, I guess. I'm not really that big away from, just that whole influencing type of thing. And again, if you haven't already, if you haven't looked at our, Instagram post, and the reason for this episode, it is because of that girl. What's her name again?
Olivia Jade.
Olivia Jade.
It all started with her.
Who is she?
She is Lori Loughlin, a.k.a. Aunt Becky from Full House. She's her daughter. I think she's actually her youngest daughter. She has two of them.
Right.
And she's now she's like 21 years old. But the reason why she's in, I guess you could say, the spotlight right this minute is because of that whole scandal with USC and, Lori Loughlin and her husband who, I don't even want to say forged information or misrepresented the kids, the two girls.
That's too nice, man. You're being too nice. Dude, they lied. They basically lied. They cheated.
Well, forge is not a nice word.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time,
they doctored.
I prefer. Well, no, not even. They gave them money, right? They bribed. No. They bribed them. Didn't they give them like 500,000? Yeah, like 500,000, over $500,000.
Well, I think there was two things going on. Number one is that even probably before the girls even went there, they probably were making donations to the school. So that probably plays a part, and I cannot confirm nor deny that. I'm just saying, based on some of the stuff that Olivia Jade said, right. It seems like they have made donations to the school. So that's one thing. Number
$500,000.
That was to the guy.
To the guy.
That coach or whatever, recruiter.
Okay.
It was to him personally.
Well, I'm saying overall, that
was to him, not to the school.
But what I'm saying is that they've put over $500,000 in bribery.
Yes,
as
to
a whole.
The guy. What they were doing with the guy is the guy was saying, okay, we can get her in as an athlete. This will be her, I guess you could say path to
sure.
admission. So he was kind of guiding them, and for his, fees for his services is where he was charging all this money. So he was he couldn't make the decisions on admissions.
So what did the school get out of this? How much money did they get? Did they get any money out of it?
No. I don't
so
think
you're
so.
saying,
hence why the school was never charged with anything.
You're saying that the dude was the one who got over $500,000. So
yeah, they were paying him to help them get her in. Well, rather, the two daughters. So it's $500,000 for two daughters, not just one person.
How much does an education, how much does an education cost for USC? How much is that? Oh, you got to search.
Let me search that. I don't. What do I know? All of that?
Well, I mean,
okay. My guess is about $50,000 a semester.
50. Oh, whoo!
It's expensive.
Of course it is. It's like one of the most.
That's just my top of off the top of my head.
You got the figures.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous. It's just like, dude, you're spending that much money for an education. And you're rich. You can go pretty much to any other school, but you have to go to USC. And from what was said, at least what she said was that the father did want her or them to go outside of the state. They wanted her, or he wanted them rather, to be close by. He didn't want them out, which is why he really press that for them to go to USC. But we're talking about over $500,000.
Okay, I wasn't that far off.
All right, bring it.
So I was. It says on off campus with parents or relatives. It's like about $60,000 a semester.
60 G's a semester. That's crazy. All for what? She didn't even want to go there. She didn't even want to go to the school.
Well,
she didn't want to go to college.
I don't. I think is that she didn't really want to. She wasn't really interested in college.
Oh.
She already had a little career on social media on YouTube.
On Instagram, yeah, YouTube, right?
No,
She was doing her
YouTube,
thing, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I think she was doing like a little. Because I actually looked at her page, and she was doing like makeup tutorials and interviews with her mom,
Right?
Like silly stuff with her mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's what
And
intrigued people.
Again, she didn't care, and I guess maybe she didn't care about going to school for an education because she already had whatever she had going and making money. I don't think it was that much money that she was making. To be honest with you,
she had recently signed a deal with a beauty company to be like I think to come out with her own line of products. Yeah. Please, I know.
I don't.
Don't give me the side eye. This is what was said on.
I don't understand.
On the internet.
And then maybe that's why she didn't really care. Maybe that's why she didn't care about.
And again, what we were talking about before was endorsements. So not only was she getting endorsements from companies, but then she was getting, like I said, then she was supposed to come out with her own little beauty line. So obviously that would generate money too.
Yeah. So this is what she was. This is the video that she had put out, and this is after she. Started doing this is actually after she was admitted to USC. She was now a member of the USC community. And this is what she posted not long after.
I'm living in a dorm with a roommate who's so sweet. With work, it's going to be hard. Like my first week of school, I'm leaving to go to Fiji for work, and then I'll be in New York a bunch this year for work and traveling to a different country because I'm creating something with this country, and that's for work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys.
So she doesn't even care about school.
Nope.
Like she does. She just wants the experience of game days, being a part of the football, games, stands, rather than the stand.
I also think that, saying that you're a graduate, which at this point she can't say that anymore, but saying that you're a graduate of a college or a university like that holds its own prestige.
Right.
So I think.
I mean, it's USC for crying out loud.
It seems like it's a pretty, it's not an easy college to get into.
University of Southern California. It's again, their football program makes them so damn important right now. You know what I mean? But like seriously, USC. I mean, it's not like you're, obviously it's not like you're going to a community college or some Division II college or university or whatever the case may be.
Oh, it's actually a private university.
But at the same time, it's just like, dude, seriously. So she's, she said she doesn't want to go to school. She doesn't care about school. She just wants the experience of, game days, watching a football game, parties, getting hammered, having fun, partying, all that good stuff. And what's unfortunate is the fact that in this particular case, her and her sister, their fathers actually took pictures of them
on rowing machines,
fake rowing,
rowing,
so that way they can actually, so they can look like they're, I guess,
on the rowing team.
This is part of their recruit, I guess, and it's something for the coach to say, yeah, these girls are legit, and this is why I recruited them, and blah, 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 and all this other crap. And they're basically taking I don't know if they got scholarships. Did they get scholarships?
I don't even think it matters if they got scholarships
I don't know.
I know that they took 2 spots away from athletes.
They did. They took 2 spots away from someone. I mean, maybe. I mean, again, when they entered, were they on the roster? I don't know how rowing works. I don't know if it's like, the other sports where you're redshirted. And if you're redshirted, you're basically sitting out a season. You know, you're not losing your eligibility, but you're sitting out a season. I'm not too sure if they were redshirted, if they even have that for rowing.
I don't think they actually were going to be on the team like that. Like,
So
it's like on paper. They were on paper.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. So again, they're taking 2 spots away from someone who is legitimate, who really wants to be at that school. You know the kind of stress, man, the sadness.
You can talk about this from personal experience.
Which part? What am I going to say?
About the athlete.
What
being
about
an athlete and being in college?
Well, no, I was going to say the stresses of trying to get into a college that you want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like the anxiety, the stress, and what happens if you don't make it? What happens if you don't get in? There's so much involved just emotionally with that. And these 2 girls are in there because their rich mom and dad put the money up for them to, take 2 spots away from someone else. I don't know. That's that to me. That in itself is something that kind of bothers me. That bothers me a lot. And again, not many people have the luxuries of being able to go into school as an athlete.
Yeah, listen, I searched about this, and it said the acceptance rate into that school is only 13%.
13%.
So they're very selective,
Jeez.
Obviously. And the other thing is that they were a top tier, they're in the top tier of schools. They ranked like number 15 in the United States. So it's not a BS school.
No, it's not a bogus school. I know that. USC is like one of the, I guess for me, USC is more sports than anything else. The Trojans, they're more sports than anything else. And again, they have a solid athletic program. It's like, top 5 in the country, I would think. I don't really watch college sports anymore. Those days are behind me.
You've graduated.
But I mean, it was good then. But yeah, it's a lot is involved, man. When you're an athlete, college athlete, you have to maintain your grades. You have to keep up physically with your team and so on and so forth. So a lot of kids don't get a chance to do that, and they did, which was unfortunate for 2 people. Again, it's only 2 people out of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
But who else has gone through that? Who else was able to do that? And it basically boils down to privilege. They were privileged. And I don't know why their parents will spend that much money for them to go to USC, and then have your kid on video saying, "I don't really care about going to school." Mm-hmm. You know why? Because you're making money.
Exactly.
You're making money, and you don't really. At least you should have gone to school and taken advantage of everything you could have, learning the business side, all that other good stuff on your parents' dime while you're making that money and building your brand. You should have done that, but that didn't happen.
But the reality is, they probably didn't think that far into it. Like,
so what happened? What happened after that? A lot of.
Well, Mrs. Loughlin is now in jail.
She's in jail. The parents, right? Both.
Father, well, now both
father.
of them are there. Yeah,
Right.
She's been there since like Thanksgiving or right before Thanksgiving. She'll be out by Christmas. Yeah, I know. She was supposed to serve 2 months, but I guess she went in a little earlier than she was supposed to. I guess to make it back out before Christmas.
Right.
So yeah, she must have went in before Halloween, in order to come out by Christmas, and then she's gonna get hit with parole. Well, like community service, and also like $150,000 fine. At least that's what I saw when I searched it.
You know how many? I don't remember the names. I don't remember the stories, but there were a couple or few mothers who actually went to jail because they falsified the address in order to get their kids into a good school.
Like, yeah, the school district.
And they were jailed
for like years.
I don't know if it was years. I don't think
it was
years.
not 2 months.
And you're gonna have to double check that one. But yeah,
again.
but it brings up the whole privilege. It's just the privilege, and many are not fortunate enough to have that privilege. So what happened later on? her reputation got hurt. What's her name? Olivia
Jade.
Her reputation was damaged. And I think honestly, when she went on this what was it, Red Table Talk with
Yeah, you finally said it right.
I know, right? Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett, her mom, and her daughter. Was that Willow?
Yeah.
I think what happened was, again, well, the mother was pissed off. She was not happy. She
didn't want to participate.
She was very bothered.
She didn't want the girl to come on there.
Exactly. She was very bothered by the way, with the fact that Olivia wanted to go on a show to kind of, tell her story or give her thoughts or whatever it is and kind of help her image. Because, again, Red Table Talk is like this big thing on Facebook, right? From what I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any episodes. The only one that I saw was Jada and Will Smith, where she cheated.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her with, tears in his heart.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm thinking to myself, again, she's only going on the show so that way she can rescue her image. That's it. And I understand that the mom, Jada Pinkett's mom, I don't know her name, I do understand that she was bothered by it. She's like, why is this girl, why is she coming on the show? To save her image, to have the black community, help her out, basically.
Yeah.
So why would you choose this? And from what they're saying, Red Table Talk never contacted Olivia to, go on the show for an interview. Olivia and her people contacted them to have a discussion about what happened. And for me, I think, okay, here's the reality. Red Table Talk is new. It hasn't been out that long, correct?
Actually, I think it's been out for at least a year.
All right, it's still new. So you have people like me, people like us, rather, for this Good Talks, and soon it's going to be the Urban Preppy. Little plug there, the Urban Preppy.
Hey.
All right. So people.
You have to pay for advertising.
So you have people like us who are doing this, and we have to start. We're starting off at the bottom.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. 2 years.
We're starting off at the bottom, and it's going to take us a lot just to even get to that level of Red Table Talk to have people come on, the show. Hell, we need a studio for that if that's the case. And we can't even afford a studio in New York City, but that's the reality. You need like a place for this to happen. And they're fortunate enough to get that. So what I'm saying is basically they're good with Olivia going on the show to talk about her issue. They're good with that.
Listen, the reality is it's like an exclusive.
Right.
And so therefore that brings attention
exactly.
to them.
No one else has Olivia.
So they both benefited from this.
Exactly. So I don't know if I really buy that whole, she shouldn't have been on the show and all. I don't know.
The mom's point of view was that she didn't want to give her a platform and support her in a way. By letting her talk.
Right.
Because and she feels slighted, I think, for a different reason. It wasn't like we were talking about privilege, and there's a difference between the types of privileges that there are. Mm-hmm. She was talking more about like white privilege as opposed to financial privilege. And she felt that it was kind of messed up for, this white girl to come to 3 black women for support, when on the flip side, if it would have been, a black chick that this happened to or that was involved in a scandal, would she have that platform to go to 3 white women and that they would be supportive of her? So that's where she seemed to have her issues with it.
I'm curious. I'm curious to find out if Olivia went to any other of those talk shows, Good Morning America.
They would have scooped her up if she did. So I think she didn't on purpose.
You think so?
I think so.
That would have been amazing. She would have gotten money for that.
Nah, they wouldn't have paid her.
No, you don't think they would have paid her?
Good Morning America is not going to pay you. But and maybe even they won't pay you either. But again, it benefits them both. It benefits her.
Right. Of course.
And it benefits them for
Red
the
Table
exclusive.
Talk. Exactly. Yeah. So I get it. At the same time, It's just like, I mean, I guess it's all about it's all a chess game. You know what I mean? Smoke and mirrors. You got to make people believe, and so on and so forth. But I really do feel as if, with influencers, they're getting paid so much money, and a lot of people don't know this, especially the older generation. They don't really know what an influencer does. Now, you were just talking to me earlier today about this kid who was making, what, $26 million in a year?
Oh, my God.
$26 million.
The kid Ryan, and I'm sure that some people have heard of him.
What's his name?
His name is Ryan. Hold on, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Ryan Gosling Jr.?
No. He wishes, but no.
Ryan Seacrest?
Ryan Kajij, Kaji.
Okay.
How would you?
I don't know, Kaji?
Kaji. Okay. And it's like I think it's called Ryan's World or something.
Right.
Where
so we just gave him a plug.
Oh, little fucker. As if he as if he needs it.
Little fucker.
As if he needs it. But anyway,
okay.
His little gig is literally getting toys and opening them up and playing with them.
While being recorded, right?
While being recorded by his family, else. By his parents. And he made $26 million last year for that.
$26 million.
I mean, that's probably a combination between him having his own little toy line.
Right.
Plus
sponsors,
endorsements,
and the YouTube
free toys.
Clicks,
and the YouTube subscription because he has a lot of followers.
They say it doesn't really matter about the subscriptions. What matters is the amount of people who looked at that specific video.
Well, he gets millions of freaking hits on each of the videos.
Well, I guess. So, you know what? He is your modern day Big. Tom Hanks, the movie Big, for the younger generation, whoever's listening.
Yeah, if they saw one of those old throwback movies, right. It's called Big.
Big, where Tom Hanks became young from making a wish, and he became young and he stumbled upon some CEO or something like that playing with a toy, and they hired him to
give his feedback on the toys.
Actually, no, he wished that he was older. Right? He wished he was older.
You are messing us all up. I didn't even hear that part you messed
he was
up.
Young, but yeah. So
he was older and he wanted to be young.
They gave him a job, and his job was basically to play with the toys and then let him know what it was, and he was getting a good check.
Yep.
I mean, so this is basically your modern day, Big. Store.
I mean, again, it has to do with marketing. It is. Right. It is a branch of marketing. So there is actual business model to it. But
if you're popular, you're going to get paid. If you are popular.
No, this is ridiculous. Popular.
$26 million, dude. I'm happy with $1,000 a month extra. Getting a check. Oh well, $1,000.
Oh man,
I'll be happy with that. $26 million. Woo! Mama, we're moving to Mexico.
She ain't going with you.
Yeah, she's going to stay here. But yeah. Either way,
we picked the wrong profession. That's all I got to say.
We're a little late, man. We're a little late.
No, I mean, we went to college and everything, and we didn't even have to at this rate.
I shouldn't have. For my profession, graphic design, it was so stupid. You do not need a degree to be a graphic designer. You just need to be pretty damn nasty and nice, creative, or just
talented,
just know the program. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm in the hole for a hell of a lot. So
you need to be friends with Ryan.
Real. I'm about to call him up. I will hold your toys. Doesn't matter to me.
That doesn't sound good.
That's so nasty, right? It's disgusting. All right, forget it. Change that. But yeah, that's what it. Again, influencers are. Come from every demographic, right?
Well, there's all kinds of different things on YouTube. It's it's so saturated. It's crazy.
It is. So I don't even know most of these people. I mean, again, you start hearing, oh, this person is an influencer, and you're like, why? Who are they?
Well, out of the top 9 that I did research on, Ryan, I actually did hear about him only because of my nephew. And my sister, Linda, told me that Aiden likes to watch that. And I was like, why?
Okay, so there you go.
That is literally hours of entertainment for them. to just sit there and watch this kid open up gifts.
That's nuts.
Open up toys.
So he's
ridiculous.
he's a what do you call him? An unboxer. That's what you do. So yeah, these people, you'll see them on YouTube. They get all these, equipment, toys, electronics, and all this other, and they unbox it and they record it, and they give their little, speech,
commentary
whatever,
about it,
whatever it is,
reviews.
Yeah, and again, it's just like for some of them, not worth it. I don't even bother listening to some of them because it just.
Some of them are annoying.
Like that chick. I don't even know her name, but it's just like, dude, you're over here getting a Mac Pro, you're getting like all these things, and you can't even really.
And she's not a techie, like she wasn't technical.
I was so.
But I guess that's her appeal because it's like the average girl or
cute.
whatever.
She's cute. She's a little funny. She's a little goofy.
She wasn't that
or whatever.
funny, but okay.
Hey, somebody's jealous.
No, I am certainly not.
So for the record, I don't really watch any. I haven't seen any videos of her for a while because I don't follow her. I don't subscribe. Some of them I do because they're informative. But again, this is why I want to take the urban preppy and change the game a little bit when it comes to that. That's what I want to do.
Here you go, plug.
It's like legit, reviews or discussions about regular Joe stuff. None of this craziness or whatever. Again, there's always a niche. There's something for everyone. But, with certain influencers, I don't even care. So that's pretty much it. But then moving on to even like a deeper influence. You know where I'm going with this?
No.
Well, it's not going to be a regular influencer on YouTube and social media. Because
yes. Okay, I know where you're going.
So on a deeper one, we're gonna not bypass, but we're gonna pass or continue on from this influencer thing. Your regular Joe influencer stuff, and we're gonna talk about someone who is a major influence,
and not in a good way.
Rather, influencer, and who's getting paid off our bucks, pretty much. And that is yours truly, Mr. Trump. I don't even have. Do I even have like scary music or whatever on here?
I thought you did.
I don't know if I did.
You did.
Oh yeah, here you go, Mr. I'll try it again. Mr. Donald J. Trump. That's all I got. But either way, again, this dude. Now he's a major influence, man. Like seriously. And I don't understand. This is what bothers me a lot because, of course, with this whole election crap and it's a fraud, and he's been saying this for like ever, even before it. He was preparing for this. He was laying the
groundwork.
He was preparing for this moment, and he knew what would happen. Of course, when you have other people in your cabinet, your administration, who are telling you, listen, we can do this, and this could happen, that's gonna happen, and so on and so forth. Of course, he's gonna listen to them and go that route, which he did. This is the same man who was preparing for us to believe that the post office was that horrible and it was gonna, lose our ballots and all the other stuff. Mind you, telling his Republican supporters.
Not to mail in their
Don't
stuff.
mail it. Go in to vote.
Well,
stupid, man.
Obviously, because they were setting up to throw out the mail ballots.
Of course, they probably right.
Yep.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so here we have a leader. This is the leader, the face of the United States.
Leader in quotation marks, by the way.
The face of the United States of America, the leader, who is supposed to make us feel safe. Trust in his words. And he couldn't even do that even since day one. So now we're in this particular situation where we have all these votes, and the election that is considered a fraud, and how, the Democrats and the far left are, again, here's the scare tactics. The Democrats are going to do this and X, Y, and Z, and we're going to be screwed pretty much. Okay, no problem. I get it. But at the same time, what happened with this pandemic? That wasn't, I mean, I guess one would say it's a hoax, right?
How is it a hoax?
I mean, they're still saying it's a hoax.
Oh, there's still people.
Yeah,
there's still people that are dying, like in the hospital, swearing that they're not dying from COVID, that they're dying from something else because that's a hoax.
Right.
How can that possibly be?
Of course. Now, again, how many times did I tell you, like, hey, I don't know if it's the virus, man. It could be that 5G shit.
I know.
It could be that.
And then I looked at you.
I mean, again, but see, for me, I want to listen to all sides, man. I want to gather as much information I can from all sides, from every angle, just to kind of understand and make sense of things. Now, do I think that the Democrats, pulled some shit? Of course I do. I do. Do I think that the Republicans pulled some shit? I do. Of course I do. They all do. It's politics. It's the government. The United States of America did not become a powerful nation, from being nice. No, they did some grimy shit. Of course, both parties did some crap. But at the same time, it's so tiring to hear both sides bickering. Because the reality is, when Trump speaks, it's just nothing but bullshit, man. Mind you, again, like I told you before, maybe, not maybe, but I know that he's done some good things. He has. I've researched. But at the same time, he's done a lot of stupid crap. So, again, he's a major influence. So one of his tweets, that's how you're going to find out what he feels or what he thinks, or at least what they're making you think.
Yeah, forget statements,
thinks, right?
Official statements.
Right. So this is one of his tweets. If the two senators from Georgia should lose, because, you have that Georgia runoff coming in January, which would be a horrible thing for our country. Or rather, it's not a question, which would be a horrible thing for our country. I am the only thing that stands between packing the court, last number I heard, 25, and preserving it. I will not, under any circumstances, pack the court. Now, for those of you who do not understand what packing the court is, they're basically going to add more Supreme Court justices.
Because right now, there's only 9.
Yeah, it's 9.
But it's unbalanced.
Six of them are conservatives.
Yeah. So there's only 3. I can't say for sure that the other 3 are actually liberals, because I don't know if one is like,
right,
not, like not classified or whatever.
Yep.
But anyway, the other 3 are not. So obviously the court is already unbalanced.
Exactly.
It's leaning towards one side.
So it's funny. It's funny how, that's one of their major things. Again, they want to scare people into believing that the Democrats are just trying to make things a little unfair. Now, what was unfair was the fact that when Obama was leaving, and this was maybe like 8 to 9 months out?
It was February of 2018, and the election was November 2018.
Right. So he was
9 months.
He was pretty much done. He was leaving office, right? And there was a seat that was available. I forgot who passed away. I'm not too sure who it was.
Yeah, I forgot.
Sorry for the mute.
I think it was Anthony Scalia.
It was Anthony Scalia. Okay.
Which he was a conservative, by
Right.
the way.
When that seat became available, they didn't allow Obama to fill that seat.
Well, he actually did want to, what's that called? I don't want to say recommend. He wanted to recommend, I guess is the only word I can think of. Nominate. There you go. He wanted to nominate, I think it was Neil Gersh something, and they blocked him.
Right.
Mitch McConnell was like, nope, I don't want to hear it. Nope.
It was Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Lindsey
But Mitch
Graham.
McConnell was the still the Senate majority,
Right.
so
Lindsey
therefore,
Graham, of course, with that whole, you can use my words against me.
Yep.
Right? That's basically it. Right? They felt like, he's leaving. It should be up to the next president to appoint someone, into the seat. So they didn't allow Obama to put someone in, put his choice. Why? Because they knew that he was going to put someone in who was most likely liberal, right?
Yeah, he was liberal.
And that wouldn't have been good for the Republicans or the conservatives. Let's go with the conservatives. It wouldn't have been good for them. So, again, they blocked him. Now Trump comes, right? Here's Trump. He's leaving in 2 months after Ginsburg had passed.
Rest in peace.
That spot was open. And they rushed to fill that seat as fast as they possibly could. So, I guess, how many did it? Three. Trump,
he was able to nominate 3 of them.
Trump has 3 conservative judges during his time. It's perfect, man. It was the perfect play. This is exactly why the Republicans wanted him, especially for the conservatives, because they got him to get those 3 seats filled for them, for the conservatives. So this crap about, the Democrats packing the court, I don't think so. You basically did that yourself. You basically screwed us. They got 2 of them. They got 2, pretty much.
Well, they were able to get the first one was Neil. No, damn, who was the other? The second one was Brett Kavanaugh,
right?
And then the Amy Cohen Barrett or whatever her name is. She's the last one. I forgot the first guy.
Either way, they got, it's 3. It's 3 under Trump's dime. So there goes that one. I don't know about this, stacking the court. So again, they played this game, and this is the funny part. This is what bothers me about this whole Democrat-Republican crap, is they're both playing each other, right? They're both playing these games. One of them does this, the other one does that. And I see where it's going. And it's unfortunate because we're the ones that are going to get screwed. So while they're filling their pockets and they're doing all this crap, we're the ones that are going to get screwed in the long run. But people start believing. They start believing in things that he says. And they believe this all, again, he's one of the most influential people in the world right now. And it's very unfortunate because it's not a path that is really positive from what I see. And this is not a Democrat-Republican thing. This is literally, from a character standpoint. This is not a character that, I would want representing my country. Again, politics is politics. It's all bullshit. But you need to start putting people, in their spots. I feel like you have to really pay attention to the ones below the president and not just the president himself. I'm sorry, man. I know it was a long pause, but at the same time, when you have, the New York City life and sirens galore, it's tough. Moving forward. So this is what happens. So this is what, this is an influential person saying stuff like this. But of course, it's to help out his fellow Republicans and those who are looking to lean more conservative. And again, I don't really think many of you guys are conservatives. So the next one, of course, another tweet. While my pushing the money-drenched but heavily bureaucratic U.S. FDA, this is on Twitter, saved 5 years in the approval of numerous great new vaccines, it is still a big old slow turtle. Get the damn vaccines out now, Dr. Hahn. Stop playing games and start saving lives. Wow. This is your president, right? Okay. So you're wondering, well, what did he say wrong? I mean, he's saying stop playing games. He's being tough, right? This is the Donald Trump. You got to be tough on everyone to get what you want. You got to be a bully sometimes, they say, right? Start saving lives. Well, I wish he would have said that back in January and February. Wish that would have happened, but I guess that didn't happen. So he goes on to say, in a recent tweet, from the instant the coronavirus invaded our shores, we raced into action to develop a safe and effective vaccine. We harnessed the full power of government, the genius of American scientists, and the might of American industry to save millions and millions of lives. Interesting. Take a listen.
And so what was President Xi saying yesterday?
Well, we were talking mostly about the virus, and I think he's going to have it in good shape. But it's a very tricky situation.
Indeed,
it goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. The touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air, and that's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. People don't realize we lose 25,000, 30,000 people a year here. Who would ever think that, right?
I know. It's
pretty amazing. And then I say, well, is that the same thing? This is more deadly. This is 5 per. This is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%. So this is deadly stuff. Now it's turning out it's not just old people, Bob. Just today and yesterday, some startling facts came out. It's not just older.
Yeah, exactly.
Young people, to plenty of young people.
So
what's going on
give me a moment of talking to somebody, going through this with Fauci or somebody who kind of it caused a pivot in your mind, because it's clear just from what's on the public record that you went through a pivot on this to, oh my God, the gravity is almost inexplicable and unexplainable.
Well, I think, Bob, really, to be honest with you,
sure, I want you to.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
because I don't want to create a panic.
But
So, okay. Again, let's dissect this. You knew about the virus. You had a conversation with a reporter who was writing a book about this, or about you. You admitted to knowing about the virus. This is in February 7th, or whatever that, I think it's February 7th. So you knew that before. You had a couple of memos from, I forgot the name of the dude in his cabinet who warned him about it. And he said, "Oh, I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to read it."
Yeah.
Well, how much crap is that? Because someone in your administration saw it, which means that you had to have known about it. There goes the lies. So then you go on in March, in April, and you have your rallies without a mask and everything else, knowing that this is a deadly virus. From what you're saying. But yet there are still Republicans and there are still people saying that this is a hoax. How is that possible? That's crazy to me. Moving forward, he says this, right? From the instant the coronavirus invaded our shores, we raced into action to develop a safe and effective vaccine. Really? Well, number one, this the part where it says from the instant the coronavirus invaded our shores, it's as if he's making it sound as if this was an actual war, which it's not a war. It never was an actual war. There were no men on the ground shooting bombs and everything else. This is not a war. But he's trying to make it seem as if he is a wartime president. The other part is we raced into action to develop a safe and effective vaccine. In February? What happened? From February till when did he stop saying that it was okay or nothing was wrong?
Probably not till almost the summer. I mean, I stopped working on March 13th, and it wasn't coming from him. I think it's just that people started getting nervous and the rates were going up and up and up, and that's when, businesses started to make their own decisions on what they're doing.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't because he came out with a directive saying anything. And at that time, we weren't even wearing masks like that. Remember? When I stopped working,
right.
I wasn't wearing a mask yet.
Yeah. So it's crazy to me how, like, you know, you have this person who's a major influence, you know, in this country, and it, you know, continues to, you know, say what he says, you know, he does what he does, and it's just like, you know, listen, it's not about Democrat or Republican for me, to be honest with you. It's about citizen to government for me. It's about understanding that the government is playing games. Whether you're on the Republican side or the Democrat side, the government is playing games. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm not one to just, you know, sit there and believe every damn, you know, conspiracy theory. Some of them make sense, though. I'm not going to lie. Some of them make sense. But at the same time, I don't see, like, the full proof for me to jump on the bandwagon and go out there and start, you know, screaming at the top of my lungs with a megaphone. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it's more like you're open to the realm of possibility.
Right.
But you're not necessarily drinking the Kool-Aid 100%.
And most people, I wouldn't say most people, but there are several people that I know or know of who have gone like the distance.
Full force?
Yeah, gone the distance and, you know, I guess backed Trump up. And at that point, you are really not about your country. You are about a showman. That's who you are. You're for a showman. That's basically it. So you prefer a showman to influence everything that you do, everything that you think about. You prefer to get influence from that person. A person that has been lying since the day he became president.
Hello, he was even lying about the day that he became president. Remember the crowd size?
Unbelievable. Unreal. And this is what I mean again, like, This is our country. Like, I am not a conservative, but I am not like too liberal. You know what I mean? I'm somewhere like in between. Like a
conservable.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a. You know what? You said that out loud. Someone's gonna go trademark that shit.
Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, you heard it here first.
Yes, exclusive on Good Talks.
We have to put it out there. Conservable. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
I'll
be putting that on a T-shirt.
Again, either way, for me, it's really not. It's not a Republican or Democrat thing, man. I just hate the bullshit that I see. But I see both sides of the story. I understand both sides of the story. But at the same time, there's a lot of shady shit coming from that right side. And I'm not even gonna say far right or, you know, no. It's just a lot of shit that I've seen. Again, you know, you have these Republican senators who want to keep their jobs. They want to keep their jobs. I mean, that's basically it. So they need, it's all a game. It's all a political game. They need to stay in office in order to get that, you know, get that check, get paid. And right now, the way it's looking, the Republicans won this battle. They got 3 conservative judges, you know, in the seats. They won this. Why? Because, you know,
but
I guess
they didn't necessarily win the war yet.
I guess people felt like, you know, Trump was the man. He was this business guy who's going to help us out, you know, help the country out economically. Failed on that one. You know, health, failed on that one. Dude.
Yeah, he couldn't even get a bill passed for Medicare or whatever, like
right.
Revising or getting rid of Obamacare.
American Cares Act, right? Is that what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
ACA.
All right, so that is the only thing that has protection for people with
underlying conditions.
Right. It's the only one. But yet, you know, they wanted to remove that and give us what? Nothing. Still nothing. Still no. There's still no health care. You know.
Well, remember, it was funny because this was one of the points that they brought up during the debate, which was he said, yes, we're coming out with another, you know, like with another a plan. And and Biden was like, what plan?
Yeah, there's
like,
nothing.
Where has this been 4 years?
Zero. Still, again. Like the wall, Mexico didn't pay for it, right?
Nope.
We paid the tariffs, dude.
Technically, I'm sorry to say, people, you guys are paying for it in the retail
exactly.
prices.
That's number one. Number two, China's not even buying as much as they did back in 2017. From what I saw statistically, check it out, research it. I wish I would have, you know, put it up. But yeah, China's not buying as much as they did.
Well, listen, the reality is it's probably in retaliation for the tariffs, too.
So again, we're getting screwed on this. So, this is what people wanted, right? They wanted someone who wasn't a politician. But guess what you got? You got a crook, man. You got a crook and his family's a crook. And they're going to be running, or maybe Ivanka's going to run for president, or not even president. She's probably going to run for Senate in Florida next, not too long from now. That's what's going to happen. Politics is money, man. That's where the money is at. That's where everything is at. Don't be fooled, man. And this is where this is why I want to do this show about influence. You have two different types of influence out there, man. The social media with all this craziness. And then you have, the one who is supposed to be watching our backs. And we're getting screwed. So, unfortunately, that is the end of our episode. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening outside, it seems. Like,
apparently it's very busy around here.
Whatever. And, I guess we're trying to,
we're just trying to talk.
I know, right? We're just trying to talk over it, but that's not really working. But either way, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time that you spent listening to us. Again, if you know anyone who, would like to be a part of the show, we're always live. We don't really do any videos and then post it. We like to do everything live. So we're trying to get episodes out every other week, but we kind of went against the grain.
It depends on what happens.
Yeah,
during the course of the days.
If it's a major story, most likely we're gonna try to get it have a conversation live sooner rather than later. But again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe below. There's a little link down there. Check us out. Check out our other videos if you haven't. We're also on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitch, I think it's Stitch or Stitcher.
iHeartRadio.
What was the other one? It's a little Spotify. So if you haven't, if you missed this show, you can watch the other ones, or you can listen to it rather. Check us out on Instagram. It's goodtalks_NYC. Check out our website, goodtalksnyc.com. Stay updated.
And I just want to say a special shout out to the live chatters tonight. We didn't get to really say a lot of your comments, but thank you guys for participating as usual. And a little special welcome to Nora Vicenti, which I believe this is her first live chat.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully you come back next time.
And here we go.
Good talks.